Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. It's Gritz and Glitter.
With our intro song. I remember that.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Hey, how's it going?
It's always a great day when we're recording Gritz and Glitter, and this is an incredible podcast, and we just want to welcome everyone into this incredible space. What do you say?
Hey y'all out there listening or watching in podcast land.
Exactly. You know, it's always fun because I believe that that's where I get to know more about you. You get to know more about me, although we have been spending a lot of time together. We've been like, brother, we have another meeting that we have to do or another project that we're doing. It's all
I
good 'cause
know.
I get to work with the genius known as Terry Dyer.
Ooh, not the genius. I mean, I'll
The
take it. I'm
genius.
not going to say anything
The
otherwise.
genius is Terry Dyer.
I appreciate that.
You know.
I think I've said it before. Just the fact that we get to share this space and do some incredible work together, it is a blessing. It's an honor. It's a privilege. I'm so thankful for your wisdom and your guidance with certain things, and just like your energy and spirit. It brings some good stuff to the table.
Absolutely. What's going on? I know what's going on, but just for our listeners, we've had a full week.
Oh my gosh. The last probably 2 to 3 weeks, it has been insanely busy. Busy. And 13, 14-hour days, bless her heart. I don't get to see my baby girl, my dog very much, just because I'm constantly in Zoom meetings or running here and running there and trying to build our brand and to navigate and work with my clients, who I'm so also very, very excited about. So we've got a lot going on.
Got a lot going on. And like we talked about last episode, it's summertime.
Yes.
And so I gotta like say it is May and it's 92 degrees today. I'm just saying, I'm not complaining. I'm just explaining, as my mama would say. I ain't complaining. I'm just explaining.
Because it could be worse.
92.
It could be worse.
It will be. It will be.
I was talking to someone in Palm Springs, California, and I was saying how today. I know, like today it was raining and it's been storming last night and today. And he said, well, my doors are open. I'm looking out my window at the sun. I was like, thank you very much.
Whatever. Are you a heat person? Do you like the heat, or are you like it cold? Are you a snow bunny?
Ooh, not a snow bunny. I can't. I mean, I grew up in the heat, and where I was born, we had 4 real seasons, right?
Yeah.
So, and then I've lived in California, in Sacramento and Southern Cal and then Northern Cal. And so typically those places have been triple degree weather during summertime. And then of course, running track and field, year round, I'm typically out in the heat. So I would say that I'm more of a heat person.
Yeah.
I think as I'm not old, but getting older. Not old.
Why do you always look at me when you say that? Why do you put that thing up and you give me that side eye?
No, because I know how our community is, right? Like our community is so caught up in age and nowadays it's like, which we need to do a show on this.
Ageism.
And now if you're 30, that's now considered daddy. So I heard that a few weeks ago, and I'm like, 30 is daddy? Daddy is like 55 and up, in my opinion. Right?
Well, hold on. I don't want anybody to call me daddy. And next month I turn 60. Do not call me daddy.
I mean, it goes on.
No. No, I got to tell you, the reason why I'm embracing, but I'm embracing 60 because I want to show people what 60 can look like. I want to show you, people, they go like, you're 60? Yes. So what's your secret? So that's why I'm writing a book on how to thrive 50 and older. I'm writing a book right now. It's going to be out by Christmas. So y'all get your copies. We're right now going to the final edit. And, what my friend says, there's no writing, there's just rewriting. You know that.
I do.
So I believe that we need to embrace the age. I'm happy with that. I can say I'm 60 and I look amazing. I look amazing for 40. because I know some 40. Hey, you know that saying that says black don't crack?
That's true.
But sometimes it droops, baby. So I don't ever black might not crack, but sometimes it droops. I do not want to be the one drooping, baby. You know, I love that red skip, but you see that face drooping?
See now.
I
I don't
know.
know. Like I think as I'm starting to get a little older, I'm not embracing that ideology around like, oh, in gay community or gay culture, you know,
Yeah.
past 30 we're old, past 40 we're old. Look, I work my tail off to be healthy, in shape, to look the way that I do. Like, don't call me old, honey. Like, I will still run circles around. You want to get on a track?
You
One
know,
repair me, and I will still race you behind.
and
No,
you and tennis. I see you up on the tennis on social media.
yes,
You know, you
yes.
looking
It's my
good, my
love.
brother, with them
Thank
guns.
you.
You
Thank
know,
you.
I'm gonna say, did y'all buy your tickets to the show? What show? The gun show. The gun show. You are
I don't
so
have them out
crazy.
today. It's just a little tight form fitting
I
today. I
know
do like
you
my
are
shirt
so
though today.
crazy.
I do
I
like my
love it.
shirt today though. Look at my shirt
Oh,
today.
oh, really? Is that true though? Come on now. Come on. You know. Okay, so what's the difference between a top and a bottom?
It's listen, this
Two
ain't the
cocktails.
episode now.
Two cocktails.
This
I'm
ain't the
just saying.
episode now. You gonna
Oh
get us in
no.
trouble.
Oh,
You
we
gonna
are
get us
already
in
in trouble,
trouble.
my brother. We're always,
Uh,
it's like I say some things with you. I'm going, I hope my mom does not hear this
listen, my
episode.
grandma, who I love and
I love it.
adore, and I'm her number one, as she calls me. She listens, so we
I
gotta,
love it. Yes,
no.
yes. Well,
I just preface.
I think, here's the great thing. It's like we can have a kiki with two brothers or sisters, however you want to, whatever time of day it is, and
Mhm.
just have fun and be honest with other people that
Absolutely.
I don't normally do. I don't normally have this relationship with other people.
Yeah,
And we get to share our experiences with thousands of other people that are tuning in and listening to our
absolutely.
podcasts and watching and stuff.
Absolutely.
But I feel very comfortable with you talking about, about these issues that I think we need to be honest with.
100%. I think the way that we connect with each other allows for other folks to, make that same type of connection and then relate to us. Relatability is so incredibly important
Yeah.
in these types of spaces. So the more that we can do that and just sort of, allow for openness and transparency and welcoming, the more that people will
Mm,
listen and tune in, on a regular basis,
tune
and that's
in. Please tune
tune
in.
in.
Please like. Please share. Leave a
Tune in,
comment. Do
turn it
all the
on.
things. Do
Right.
you like that little pop up I'm putting up on our videos? Like, because
I
I am the editing back there.
do.
It's like subscribe, like, thumbs up.
Listen, yes, it's all about branding. It's all about the branding right now.
It
So
is all about
share on your
branding.
social media platforms. Listen to these black gay brothers.
Absolutely. Please, please. I am excited about this episode. It is the obsession episode. And it's like, I believe that this is the episode that people get to know more about us. And I get to know more about you. You get to know more about me. And it's like, what are you obsessing about? And I'm very, very excited about that. But we're going
Yeah.
to drop into our Did You Know?
Yes,
And
let's do it.
okay, so have you been looking at the sun lately?
No, but it's been on my back a lot.
Well, here's the Did You Know? Did you know we've been having something called solar flares?
Well, they need to take it back wherever it goes.
No, solar flares are really dope because, well, kind of. Let me explain to you kind of what a solar flare is. The definition of a solar flare, listen to this. A solar flare is a sudden, rapid, intense variation in the brightness of the sun. So you see these flares around the sun that shoots out like there's flames.
Oh.
Now, the thing about
So
this
the sun is
phenomenon,
flaming? The
the
sun is
sun
flaming? That's what
is
I heard.
flaming.
The
It
sun
is
is flaming.
flaming. It says here it's a phenomenon that occurs in the magnetic energy that is built up in the solar atmosphere. So even on the sun, there's this magnetic atmosphere that's an energy that is
Right.
exploding, it's moving. So here's the thing about the solar flare, and we can get really kind of complex with it, but I'm going to
Yeah.
give you the real. Now,
Okay.
we had a eclipse,
We
and
did.
when you put anybody in the closet and you cover them up, when they get free, what do? Hello, believe
I'm
the
here.
sun
I'm
was
queer. I'm flaring out.
exactly. I believe the sun was saying, "How dare you put me into an eclipse, Mister Moon, Mister
That's true.
Man?" And it
That's
said,
true.
"Okay, boom, I'm here." But on
Oh.
so it's like I'm believing because it happens. Solar flares actually happens in 11-year cycle. And so
Oh.
I believe with the eclipse, and then we had Mercury in retrograde, we
Ugh.
had the moon, we had so much, and the sun was like, okay, I'm done. I'm done
Yeah.
of being in the darkness. I'm going to explode. But
Mm.
a couple other things. I go online and I'm into these I'm a sci-fi freak, which you'll find out today. And I was reading these blogs on the solar flares and people who believe that they're aliens, and there are people that I believe that we have aliens. I believe they're around us now. I believe they just won't make contact because we have lost our minds. And some people online are saying this is it. They're coming and saying hello. They're passing the sun. They're heading down here. Now, I don't care what you believe, but I mean, solar flares are not something that happens all the time.
Sure. Yeah. I think that's very, very fascinating.
Yeah,
I do believe there's extra life out there somewhere. I do
I do
believe
too.
that. I don't know what they look like. I don't know if it's an ET situation, if it's a Transformer situation, they're gonna come down and try to take over Earth. I don't know. Megatron is out there somewhere in the sea.
Megatron,
I don't know.
Optimus
I don't
Prime.
know.
Oh, and
But
they got a remake of that coming out too.
oh, I know. I'm a
Oh,
Transformer.
are you
Listen,
really?
I
Oh,
am. I
I'm
am.
obsessed with Transformers.
I am a ride or die transformer since childhood. That was a part of my childhood. As an adult, I'm like, I don't care how awful the movies are. They're funny to me still. They're
I love them.
exciting.
I
Me,
love
yes,
them. And
100%.
Michael Bay, you can be bigger and better,
Yes,
and boom, blow it up, blow it
100%.
up. You know, I am okay. So Bumblebee, B is my man. Optimus was my
Oh,
man too. B is my man, but
yeah,
Megatron, brother, is mean.
I
I love
agree.
me some
I
Megatron though. I'm
agree.
like, ooh, that was pretty nasty.
So did you see and I'm obviously because I'm talking about this on the
Yeah,
fly here, but did you see the one a few years ago where they brought in some extra characters like kind of like young ones and then they were little
B.
car robots
Yeah,
and they had the gold tooth and then they were rapping and speaking. I was like, wait now. There was so much cultural appropriation in that movie. I don't know how I felt about it. It was funny, it was entertaining, but then I left. I remember, and I've seen it like a million times since the theaters. But I every time I see it, I think to myself, okay, everything I stand for and what I'm fighting for in terms of equity and equality and blah 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 blah. Blah, girl, this ain't right. Like this ain't
I,
right, Michael Bay.
it was very interesting, and in a way, are you making and we're talking about solar flares and we're talking about extraterrestrials, we don't know what they look like. Are you
Yeah,
making a reference
yeah,
that we're going to acknowledge you, or are you making fun? And I think that's the
right.
question that we get to tap into.
True.
One thing you did, Sibby, that meme yesterday, I almost lost my mind. I really did not know if I was going to laugh or if I was going to like get my boots out and go march. We go, we going to march for this one, get the fist up. So, okay, the jersey said it was a person. His name, go ahead. You
No,
explain it. No, 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 no.
don't put
Go
that
on, go
on
on.
me.
Explain it to our listeners,
Don't
please.
put that.
Come
Listen, don't
on.
put that on me. I'm not bringing that
Well,
up.
help
His
me
name
tell the
is
story.
Reverend Skip
Okay.
Jennings.
Okay.
Go
So
ahead.
one jersey of the guy's last name was Black,
Yes,
and the other jersey, the guy's name was Dick, right?
yes, yes. And they
So,
switched jerseys
and
in
he
the meme.
switched jersey,
Right.
and it
So they
read,
go stand next to each other, and it clearly says black dick.
And so when you said it to me, first of all, I laughed. I went, wait a minute. Is this something we need to like go after?
Right. No, I
So
know.
it's kind of like, where do you
So
stand on this?
agreed. This brings up a very interesting question. And I feel like both you and I probably get this question a lot with respects to our platforms and what we
Yeah.
do is where do we sort of draw the line of what's okay and what's not okay?
Yeah.
What is deemed humorous and a joke, right? Versus no, this is racist or it's cultural appropriation or this and that, right? So when I see, and I'm going to be clear for the listeners, I am not a sit up on social media and get all these like TikToks and memes and all that. People send them to me, and then I send them out and be like, "Girl, did you see this one?"
I think. Listen, Linda. I think sometimes you just gotta have fun, but then recognize what are you laughing at.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I believe, like, because I'm on TikTok now and my TikTok is blowing up. Thank you, TikTok. I don't know, you know, but I will go into that space and just to have a laugh because some of it's pretty ridiculous. Some is pretty ridiculous. So funny. So funny.
I'm not on TikTok yet. I still haven't brought myself to doing that, but you know, we'll see.
I dropped one of our promo videos in TikTok under my name, and we are at, I think it was 3,000 views.
Oh, maybe I need to get on TikTok. Okay, all right. Y'all heard that, listeners?
I don't know.
What did Martin say years ago? We about to blow up.
Listen. What did you know? Give me a did you know?
I am literally like king of old school.
I know you are. Because we can sit here all day long and not move to the next segment. What did you know?
So my did you know is I'm drawing attention to what I think is such an important book for our culture. It's an important book in our society. It's called Our Gay History in 50 States, and it's written by my very, very good friend in the Midwest. His name is Zaylor Stout. He's an attorney. He's so amazing, and I love. We have these check-ins every few weeks, and I just love him. And he wrote this incredible book. It's a beautiful and engaging book on that tells the LGBTQ plus American history. It goes state by state. It highlights significant people, i.e., presidents and things that the presidents did that could be deemed gay and LGBTQ, et cetera, et cetera. It talks about places. It talks about queer facts. So that way, all of us readers, we learn that LGBTQ history is American history.
It's like Black History, brother. We talked about this, 100%. I guess, a few episodes back, that when we're talking about the history of people, it might be the history where Black people experience it, or Black culture, or gay culture. But in the totality of America, it is American history. One of the things that I had to come to terms with during the pandemic, when I saw Brother George Floyd died, and then I saw Breonna Taylor and Trayvon Martin, we experienced it time after time, Ahmaud Arbery. And I became very, very aware of all this. And of course, it wasn't in my face, but it was in our face. And I just took notice. I had to come to terms with, there's a part of our history that I didn't want to face. The enslavement, the answers that were enslaved. I didn't want to face it. And then I read this book called Caste, Isabel Wilkinson. It just blew me away. And she talked about this in the book. You know, in Nazi Germany, it's not Nazi now, but it was Nazi Germany, they do not have statues up but they don't dismiss and try to pretend it didn't happen.
Right.
And they own it, and they say, yeah, this is some crappy stuff we did. We're going to own this, and we're going to move past it. That's embracing your history.
Absolutely.
That's the call forth for me, I believe, brother, that I got to embrace the parts that are ugly. They're horrific.
Absolutely. there are parts of all of our histories, all of our cultures,
Yes.
that is the good, the bad, the ugly, the racist, the this, the that, right? Like we all have parts of our history, but at the same
Mm,
time, we can't ignore it,
yes.
right? And I think
Yes.
I've said this on the podcast before, where I am a firm believer in knowing your history, living in and understanding your present
Right.
in order for you to have a future.
Mm,
Right. So I think and this is one of the things I love about his book. I don't even think he knows that I read his book, but the fact that his book really talks about people that in our history, in American history, that we would not think has LGBTQ either tendencies or a past or experiences with homosexuality or whatever. He really does an incredible job of calling these things out and with facts, right?
mm,
So he's just not talking about it from his perspective. These are facts, and it's so deep, right? That his book is now banned in multiple states across the country because they clearly are afraid of the truth and bringing awareness and education to children, to high school students, to
of
college level
course.
students, right? So
Of
it's so
course.
fascinating to me that, I mean, fascinating in the way that I know a lot of our folks would say, well, of course that would happen, right? Like, yeah, we know it. But for me, I guess, knowing and having a friend that wrote a book that calls out this type of stuff, like it's just so incredible to me. And I'm so proud of his book, and I'm proud of knowing the fact that there's someone out there that really tells it like it is from a historical perspective.
So, what's the name of the book again, so our listeners can get this book if they
Absolutely. So
can?
yes, oh, they still can. It is on Amazon. It is amazing, amazing, amazing book. It's called Our Gay History in 50 States. This is something I feel like everyone should really truly read, because it just, whether it's local to you, whether
Mhm.
it's cross country, like he literally goes city to city and does his homework on LGBTQ people, origins of stuff, gay rights,
Powerful.
inclusion of progression of gay rights, etc. He does an amazing, amazing work. So, Our Gay History in 50 States. Check it
Love
out.
it.
It's on
Love
Amazon.
it. Love it.
Yep.
Love it.
Yep.
Ooh, I think this is a sponsor break, yo.
It is. It is. We want to always acknowledge our sponsors because they help us pay the bills. They help
Hello.
us pay the
Hello.
bills, honey.
Hello.
So we would like to shout out one of our incredible advertisers and sponsors in AA Brokerage, which is also Cooper Steinmetz Enterprises. They are a brokerage firm that carries your trust. Carries your trust. They are one of the world's fastest growing third-party logistics worldwide. They are based in Palm Springs, California, and transport all of your freight, which includes refrigerated, dry goods, etc. So if you are looking to get your stuff from one state to the next or across country, they are your folks, and you can definitely trust them with all of your goods. So feel free. I think information is scrolling across the screen here.
Yep.
You can check them out at aabrokerageinc.com, and then they can be reached at 209-213-7091. And again, that is AA Brokerage Inc.
I love that. I love it. You know, I think we need to create a theme song. We need to claim.
That would be cute. That would be cute. That would be cute.
What-
It's
what would
commercial
it be?
time. We play the commercial. I love it.
What would the theme song sound like, Terry?
Listen, I'm not about to sing, child. Like, I done had vocal coaching this afternoon. I've been in meetings, and then we are filming. I'm like, these chords need rest. And she now gets paid for this. So.
Okay. All right. Well, again, like I said before, this is our obsession episode, which I love. And I get to really find out more about you. You get to find out more about me, but our listeners get to find out a little bit more about all of us. So how this is going to work, we're just going to throw out a title and we're both going to say what we are obsessed of. And,
Yes.
you know, the first one is food, y'all. Food. I love eating. I love eating. I am obsessed, though, with vegan food right now. No, I wrote a vegan cookbook, well, not a vegan, a vegetarian cookbook when I lived in California. And in Cali, it's easy to find a vegan restaurant on every single corner.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Here in Florida, not so much, my brother. So I've been obsessed with going to restaurants and seeing, do you have a vegan option? Most of the time, they don't. And then like,
nice.
yeah, we have French fries. And then one place I dare to even say it. I'm not going to say who it was. I said, okay, yeah, French fries. What kind of lard do you use, or what do you cook your fries in? And they said, oh yeah, we use what they say, I think it was bacon grease. I'm going, that's not vegan. That's not vegan.
I feel like most people don't typically know what that is anyways, with respects to cooking it. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? I mean, they might have a minimal understanding of vegetarian and vegan and all this other stuff, but I don't think they really truly know what it means to be cooked in stuff or cooked alongside other things, etc. So I'm not surprised to hear that. I am not surprised to hear that.
What's your obsession? What kind of food do you obsess about right now?
Listen, I have a love-hate relationship with food. Let's just be real.
Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell us more. Tell us more.
So I have, in the last 3 weeks, for those that really truly know me and know how obsessed I am with fitness and being healthy and sports and that sort of thing, I have a tendency to eat some things that are deemed, quote, bad, right? My biggest thing ever since I was a kid, I love to eat ice cream. It is my favorite thing in the world to eat. I said that in a meeting a couple months ago. We were doing an icebreaker, and literally everyone in the room was like, "You lying? That is not the way you look. That is not your favorite food." It is. It is 100% my favorite food to eat. So I've cut back on some things recently, just in terms of my like late night snacking. I have a tendency, as you know, go all day with work. I'll eat here and there. I'll have my normal meals or whatever, but because I get home late, if I've had a couple cocktails, if I've got more work to do, I'll sit in that bed with the TV and just chomp on some chips like it's nobody's business. So I've cut all of that back.
What's your favorite ice cream though?
I have only had ice cream. I think in the last 3 weeks, I've only had ice cream twice. I've only had it twice. So I've cut back. And I track, I've got a Google Doc with my trainer, and we go over my bad habits, which includes junk food. I have an app where I track all of the foods that I eat every single day, all day. Everything that I eat goes in there, and then we go over it every 2 weeks. So I like accountability. I like someone being in my ear as that coach saying, you didn't do this, I saw this, or let's fix this, or let's do that. But I 100% love to eat, but I also hate to eat, if that makes sense.
It makes sense to me, brother.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah. So that's my obsession with food. Is it will always be ice cream. And for a while, at least, as I move into hot boy summer, I got to get the body right. So
okay. All right. I feel you, brother. I feel you.
So let's move on to our next. Our next is, see, y'all don't know this, but Reverend Skip sometimes think he's real slick. Like, I see what he's doing here.
What? What'd I do?
Obsession is coffee.
Or tea.
Our obsession is coffee. So I've said this in episodes before.
Yes, you have.
I do not drink coffee. I've tried it. I don't like it. I don't like the smell of it, and it stains your teeth. And yes, I have a very healthy obsession with my teeth. So I know. See, look at that. I do not drink coffee. So this is not my obsession at all.
Okay, so here's the thing about tea or coffee. If you had to drink one, would it be tea or coffee? If you're on an island with a hot boy that says, "Listen, Daddy, I want you to drink an iced coffee for me, Daddy," or iced tea, Daddy, which one would you? Or if you're in Atlanta and you on a hot summer day on the porch just rocking, and you got a hot boy next to you, Tea or coffee? Iced tea or coffee? Which
Mm.
one would you have to have?
So I don't drink iced tea either. I like tea
Yeah.
only in the sense of like when I have to perform, I'm singing or
I
and
was
things
about
like
to
that.
say, we were in San
That's
Francisco. You had some tea and hot water.
I did. I did.
Yeah.
I go over the top OCD with the hot teas when I have to perform or like weeks leading up to that performance,
Right.
just because you have to protect the vocal cords or whatnot. But it would be tea for sure. For sure. I don't drink tea like just regularly. You know what I mean? Like it's got to be a mood. It hits me one night. I'm watching a movie or something. "Ooh, let me have some hot tea." You know what I mean? But it's not that often either.
I gotta admit I do love a good coffee and I do love
Yes.
a good tea. And here's my thing: it has to be like loose leaf tea,
Mm.
or I love the matcha tea. I love the tea lattes, and I love
Okay.
chai tea lattes. When and lately, I go through the whole entire first of the year, like first 3 months, not drinking coffee. I go
Yeah.
through a cleanse. I don't eat any meats. I stay away from sugars, any junk foods, and it just makes me I feel better. Now there's somewhere that happens April, right around April, May. I'm like, okay, let me go down to the nearest barista. Let me get me what is it? Okay, in my coffee, when I go to the nearby barista, I'm not going to give anybody a free shout out, but it's a venti white
Yes.
mocha, venti white mocha latte with an add shot. So that's 4 shots in there, and it has to be done with oat milk.
Oh, I have heard you order this before.
I was
I
in
have heard you
Starbucks
order this.
today when we had
Yeah.
our meeting.
Yes, I remember.
So
You
I
know what?
am obsessed with a little
What
coffee.
that made me think about is
What?
mocha chocolate.
Like I know, right? Oh, don't we can't
Just of it.
Patty LaBelle.
I only
She
said a
be
piece
ordering
of it. Don't be
somebody.
sending us no bill talking about
I
you want
know,
to pay
right?
for the rights now. Don't be
I
sending us no bill.
know. Okay, here's one that we both really can dive into that we both love.
Yes.
Movies.
Yes.
Okay, I am obsessed with, and it hasn't come out yet. Wicked.
Oh.
The movie Wicked, because I love Ariana Grande, I love Cynthia Erivo, I
Woo.
love that combination, and and I've heard clips from it. I love the
Yes.
makeup that they've done. I've been on YouTube following everything about that. Wicked, I've seen 4 times. So the
Wow.
last time that I saw Wicked, I was like, okay, I'm pretty much done with Wicked. I don't have to see it ever again. And then they announced the movie. I was like,
Ugh. I
so
know.
maybe, but the only thing my only thing, and I'm obsessed with it, but I am like, it's going to be 2 parts. Wicked
Wait, it
Part
is
One,
good?
Wicked Part One, Wicked Part Two.
That's
Yes.
weird.
So you see the
That's weird.
first act, and it ends on that big note because there's new songs and everything. And
Yeah.
she says, "I'm defining gravity." That big.
Yeah.
That's the first. That is the first act. A finale.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure
That's
that's where
interesting.
they're going to cut it off, and then we're going to
That's
have to come
interesting.
back. I think it comes out 6 months later, part two. But I am obsessed with it. I'm obsessed
Wow.
with the story. I love the Wizard of Oz. I love the book Wicked. I love everything about it, and I believe
Yeah.
that this is going to elevate. I believe the musical genre, because
Yes, I agree.
sometimes some musicals work in movies, some didn't. And I don't want to mention any names. Rent. Rent was my
Li-
favorite. Rent was my
Listen,
absolute favorite on Broadway. And then
listen. I just had a huge conversation about music
don't
and
say
about
it.
musicals,
Oh,
and
what are you?
someone that I was having this conversation with had a very distinct reaction to the music from two, the
Oh,
music
okay.
from the color, two movies or the two shows, the music in The Color Purple on
That's fighting
Broadway,
words. Fighting
and
words.
and the music, and I won't mention who this was, but because I know he listens too. Love you. Um,
Oh, I know who it is.
like also the music in Alicia Keys's musical. I heard did not work.
No.
Did not work. Again, I have seen The Color Purple, obviously, but I have not seen Alicia Keys's show.
Well,
I think I think sometimes we as in the entertainment world and Broadway and movies, we try to do too much. Like, let's just keep the essence sometimes of these shows, right?
yeah.
Hold on to the integrity of what was originally created.
So how do you account for the fact it got 13 nominations, Tony nominations?
Which one?
Elizabeth or Alicia Keys' new
Oh,
Broadway.
I don't know about all that.
13.
I don't know about all that.
Listen, come on, listen,
I
Linda.
don't know about all that.
Listen, I'm sorry, and them fighting words about Color Purple, and I know people are like, let me tell you something. I saw the movie 4 times already.
Yeah.
I love but I have a connection with it.
Yeah.
I'm also the type of person that can go into something new. Like I saw the Color Purple on Broadway. I saw it in LA, Pantages. I saw the Color Purple 3 times. When I went into the movie, I went, this got to be new because it's a movie setting. It's not the same. People lost their mind when it wasn't like the original movie.
Did.
I'm going,
they did.
It's not.
And it was never
same.
supposed to be. It was never
Hallelujah.
supposed to be like the original. Let the original be just that, and you create what they call a ding, 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 an adaptation. You
do that again.
An adaptation.
What is that again? You had the ding, 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 ding.
See there, I sang a little bit.
You did. Ding, 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 ding. I'm going to give you a little bonus in your check for this podcast.
Yes!
I'll give you a little bonus. Ding, ding, ding. Oh God, we're moving on.
Yes.
What's our next obsession?
What else we got?
I see here our next obsession is music.
Well, now that's music. I think one of our other topics is also sports, and we'll get to that. But for me, the 2 biggest aspects of my life from birth, really, right? Yeah. My entire life has been built around music and sports. Like that is a huge part of my DNA, right? I absolutely love music. I listen to it all day. I think a lot of people would be fascinated to hear what my playlists are at the gym or when I'm training. When I'm warming up for a tennis match or on the court, I've got my earbuds in and I'm listening to music then. Music.
Come through, Serena.
I do.
Come through.
I'm like, if it's a match, girl, don't
Venus.
talk to me. Don't nobody. Y'all can kiki and laugh and talk to yourself. I'm focused.
Come on now. Come on.
I love music, and it's not just one genre of music.
Yeah.
I'm at the gym. Like the other day, I was at the gym. Celine Dion's latest album is playing, right? I'm listening to that. Then sometimes at the gym, I will have my ratchet hip hop pump up music, right? Then I'll have musical theater. It's usually musical theater that's playing on my, so it's not there's no rhyme or reason. It really is just all about, what I'm feeling that day and what pops up. And I'm like, we'll go with that. But I am absolutely obsessed with music.
I'm trying to figure out what is your favorite artist?
Well, I got a few of those because it depends on the genre, right?
Okay.
So I would say my favorite genre has to be sort of that probably musical theater because I think musical theater for me is it's storytelling, right? Yeah. Lyrics that you can connect with, lyrics that speaks to the human nature and like human behavior. Do you know what I mean? Like it tells so many stories. And for me, music has always spoke through me. I tell people all the time, if you want to know me, I used to tell people this when I would start in dating scenarios. If you really want to know me, see me on a stage or see me on a sport court somewhere, because that's the essence of who I am and what I represent. Determination, fearlessness, everything, right? Like I'm coming out powerful, I'm coming out swinging, literally, or you know what I mean? So like,
yes, I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
You
but
be
I mean, I love
singing.
like the standards, right? The Whitney Houstons of the world. Patti LaBelle has always, since I was 3 years old, has always been an all-time favorite. I love Carrie Underwood. I love Catherine McPhee. I love Luther Vandross. Like I'm a vocal type of person when I listen to music. What about you?
I love it. So, a lot of people, so some people do know this. Some people followed my podcast before. I've said it on many podcasts. When I lived in LA and moving back, there was a time that I really was on the pathway of doing, music.
Hmm.
I got the opportunity to sing with a group that we were studio musicians that they called us in to do backup for. So
Mm.
when artists would come to the Agape International Spiritual Center, they would call our group and we got a chance to do backup. So I've
Ah.
done backup for India.Arie. I've done backup for Shaka Khan. I've done backup for Salon, for not Salon. Sorry, no. I had no. That's one of the things I really wanted to do. I've done backup for Earth, Wind, and Fire. I've done backup for John Legend. In fact, I'm on his Are You Out Here album. I've done Will I Am. When President Obama took the very first nomination in Visco Stadium in Colorado, there was a choir behind Will I Am and John Legend, and I sang in that choir. So music was a huge part of what I do and still do. And sometimes I get a chance to, when I was the senior minister at Center for Spiritual Living, sometimes I got on stage with Antonio Edwards, and shout out to
Nice.
Antonio.
Shout out, brother.
He's a great musician living here in Fort Lauderdale, and I get a chance to do my musical chops. See, and there's a point where this, where I took on the role of a minister, and I was doing speaking on Sundays, and I was doing group fitness, teaching yoga, and your voice gets a little bit raspy.
Yes.
And I realized that our music director, Tim McAfee Lewis, and I love him, brought the best out of me hard. But Tim McAfee Lewis, we were in a studio session and my voice was really raspy. And he was like, your voice, you're either going to you're going to sing, or you're going to preach, or you're going to do group fitness. You can't do it all because it's affecting the sound. And you can even hear how the hoarseness happens
Yes.
as a minister. So I gave it up, but right now I am so digging on Willow Smith. Willow's
Mm.
album is called Empathogen, and it's a 6 album. And I love Willow anyway. I just love her. I think
Yeah.
she's so quirky. She's like
Yeah.
punk rock. I mean, she is like the new punk rock. What I love about Empathogen, this is her honest view on life.
Yeah.
And she gets deep into like her big number right now that everyone's hearing is Big Feelings. And Big Feelings is talking about, I got big feelings. I know you know that I got big feelings. I know you know. And she talks about really getting deep into the reality of life. She
Yeah.
also has this track called Sympathy of Life, where I mean,
Ooh.
she's so honest and her music is so, she calls it mathematical. And it takes
Mm.
me on a journey, and I'm going, hold up. This woman, and she's 23 years old, yet she's so wise. And I just love, she goes beyond the music and she
Yeah.
brings in her heart. And I was listening to her on YouTube because I'm a huge fan of YouTube. And
We'll
she
talk about
talked
that.
about, monogamy versus being in a very open relationship, being into a polyamorous relationship.
Now
And
wait a minute now. Now wait
what
a minute now, because you know where I'm
what
going with this.
what are you
Is
going with?
she one, forecasting? Two, is she, because at 23, what do you know? What do you really truly know about these levels of categories of relationships, right? Is this coming from her parents, right? Is this what she was witness to, right? Like or witnessing growing up? So I think that's very fascinating that a 23-year-old, right? What is it, Gen Z or something? Is it we in
She
Gen
is,
Z
no, I think
space?
she's Gen Next or whatever you
Gen
call it,
X, whatever, right.
whatever.
Like, I love this generation because they are so like ready
They're
to
already
take on
tapped
the world,
in. They're bringing
ready
in
to
this
take on the world, right?
consciousness, and
Absolutely, and I
and
think she's in that category.
Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, they have a very new thought approach of
Yes.
their spiritual upbringing. And I look at them, and I look at even Jaden Smith and the stuff, they know some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I listen to this music and I'm going, oh my goodness, she has gotten like major acclaim from big artists,
Yeah.
like from the Roots and
Yeah.
from, and from, Zayn on Apple Music. These guys, they love her. They
Yeah.
love her
Yeah.
opening with John Baptiste, an opening song
Oh.
with John Baptiste. I mean, she knows some stuff. So Will Smith
All
and
right,
Patty
at
Bins
23.
get into a 23. She has a song called Run. She uses like Annie St. James, who is just this phenomenal musician. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm into it. Obviously, I'm into it.
I,
Obviously,
I,
I'm
I feel you. All
into it.
right.
I'm
I'll
loving
trust
this.
you. I'll download the album and see what she's all about.
See,
I mean,
see,
outside of whip my hair back and forth, like
see,
I've not
that's the
really
thing.
listened or followed her. So,
But she has over 1 billion listens. I mean, she's doing almost Beyonce numbers.
wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
and we had that
well,
conversation on one of our premiere episodes. I am living still for Cowboy Carter. I know,
bro,
I'm
bro.
living for Cowboy Carter, yo.
I know you is. I know
I
you
listen
is.
to at least once or twice a day.
I think it's about once every other day, and it's usually when I'm at the gym that I'm listening to it. So I feel you on that. I feel you
You
on that.
kind of feel it. I kind of feel your lukewarmness feeling of that.
I mean, I like a lot of the songs. I just don't like them in the orders that she has them in, and then some of the ones I definitely skip. I'm like, girl, can't, gotta go by.
Well, here's the thing. Wait till she brings out. Here's my thing. I have a prediction because there is another phase coming out.
I do. I
There is a
do.
part 3. Here's my prediction. It's either going to be a full out movie with all these songs or whatever, or here's my big prediction. I think she's going to go gangsta hip hop.
No, I
What do you
heard.
think?
Okay,
What do you hear? What are you hearing?
rumor has it is that
Yes.
she's gonna do like an alternative rock album is what she's looking at next. Listen, you want to hit all these categories and get yourself to #1. I am here for it. Break down the stereotypes, the barriers. Like, let these folks know in America, in the
America.
world, that you can do whatever it is that you want to do and be successful. Doesn't Just because you black and blonde hair
Lord
does
have
not
mercy.
mean you can't be in these different. I
Oh
love it.
Lord have
I
mercy.
love it.
I love it. I love it. Well, we do have another sponsor shout out, and we have a
Yes.
big shout out to Royal Brown Photography. And you can reach Royal Brown Photography on Instagram at Royal Brown Photography. Of course, let me tell you a little bit about Royal Brown. And when you go to our website, when it gets up by this episode,
Woo!
it will be up. You'll see some pictures of brother Terry, Terry with the guns and the short sleeve shirts on. He is like in your face. They did the photography for us, and when our opening comes out, you see me sitting in the chair like the queen I am. That was all done by
Not the queen, not
right
the
by
queen.
Tony and Denise. It was so dope. You know what I loved about working with them? That they made you feel at home.
They do.
And
They
they got the
do.
best out of us.
Yes,
They
absolutely
got the
agree.
best out of us. So if you're looking to have some photography done, if you're looking to, and you're in the Southern Florida area, please reach out to Royal Brown Photography. And you can reach out to them at royalbrownpics@gmail.com. If I had a theme song, it would be Royal Brown Photography, Royal Brown Photography. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Y'all just to reach out anyway.
Oh, white, sit down.
Royal Brown
I'm taking your singing card,
Photography.
girl.
I know. And I used to work in advertising too. I used to work for Young Rubicam Advertising. I was not in charge of the music, obviously.
Y'all, his name is Reverend Skip Jennings.
You
Y'all.
know, you
Reverend
know.
Skip Jennings.
Dude,
All right, so
what
let's
about
get back into
TV?
it.
TV.
What was that?
What about TV?
So listen, Linda. I have a problem clearly with TV
Why?
because the TV is on in my house all day long. I like the background noise of TV. I watch old TV over and over and over. I am the biggest Golden Girls fan. I can literally, and people have seen me do this. I can recite like episodes like it's water, like I drink water, like I'm drinking this Red Bull right now. I can literally recite
Red
episodes.
Bull sponsor us.
Y'all heard it. So I'm obsessed with
Yeah.
television. I love TV that's about law and crime. I watch all of the Chicago, Chicago Fire, Chicago Police. I watch Law and Order. I have been watching Law and Order SVU since 1999, season 1. Never missed an episode. I can't put down the television. I just like, it's an escape for me, right? Like
Law and
as we
Order.
talked about,
Law and Order.
Law and Order SVU, and I've gotten into, because it's now in season 3, Law and Order Organized Crime, right? Christopher Maloney came back, right? Detective Elliot Stabler came back. So
I don't
I
know
am
none you talking about,
obsessed.
brother.
I know.
I don't know none.
I'm
So I
obsessed.
got a question though for you. What is that sound? Dong dong.
Dong,
What is that? Dong
dong. Yes.
dong. What
Yes.
is that?
That's like, when you in the court system and like it's like you in trouble, like da da da. It's one of those kind of moments. Yeah. So that's the Law and Order theme. Yes, and I love it. I love it. I love it.
Oh
I love it.
Lord have
I
mercy.
cannot get enough of television. And I'm watching new series, right? Like Hacks, I'm obsessed with. Phenomenal.
Did they put any black
Absolutely.
people in the hack yet?
I mean, there's been a few, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's been a few. Her assistant is black and gay.
Okay, maybe I need to watch it.
Yeah, Hacks is good. And Jean Smart is primo.
Mm.
Primo. She is phenomenal. And I can't remember the young lady that acts across from her, but she's really good. The show is ridiculously funny. Ridiculously funny.
Shout
Yeah,
out to
it's good.
Hacks. Shout out to
Yes.
Hacks.
Yes. So I watch things like that, and I'm obsessed with. We talked about this 2 episodes ago. Like We're Here on HBO. I love television. Absolutely love television. It's a nice escape. It's a nice escape.
You obsessed. You obsessed, brother.
Yes. What about you?
So I'm obsessed with TV as well. In fact, I went to film and television school at NYU, the #1 film school in the country at the time. So I have a degree in editing and all that too, and I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts and Cinema Studies. So I was taught how to look at TV and how to study and write about it. So if I could be a journalist, and at one time I wanted to be was a critic. But my favorite genre of all time anything and everything is sci-fi, baby. And me talking about the solar flares and Martians and all the things at the top of the show. I love sci-fi. It's something about sci-fi. So my top sci-fi #1, goes back and forth depending on what series I'm watching. It's a fight between Star Trek and Star Wars. I love I've seen every episode of Star Trek that was ever been made, every series, and I just love how the inclusivity of Star Trek is.
Yeah.
And Discovery, it's in the 5th season, and I know it got a little poo-poo, but Sonequa Martin Green played the very first captain of a ship of an African-American woman who led the ship, who's the captain. She's absolutely incredibly brilliant. And then now there is Star Wars. And I love Star Wars. And there's a new I've seen every TV show. I've seen all the Star Wars. I had the Disney Channel. Y'all owe us some money right now. You better sponsor us. But there's a new show called Acolyte. And Acolyte stars Amanda Amanda Steinberg. And I know her from LA, and she is truly an amazing young Black actress. Beautiful. She's a great singer as well. And this new show is probably going to be the best Star Wars series. But the one that I'm obsessed
Wow.
about right now is the new Doctor Who. The new Doctor Who is black and gay,
Oh,
baby. It's the first African
yes. Yes,
American
it
black
is.
and queer.
Yes, it
And
is.
it's so amazing. It is Kuti Gadwa, Kuti Gadwa, and he is phenomenal. You might know him from
Wow.
Sex Education. You might know
Yes.
him from the Barbie movie. And
Yep.
he is so witty and so incredibly out there, queer, black and queer, leading up the show. And they brought back Russell T Davis. Russell T
Okay.
Davis actually brought Doctor Who out of the old ages and brought in the David Tennant and brought in the new
Yeah,
age.
yeah.
They brought him back to bring and refresh this energy of TV. It's incredible. It's amazing. And the villain is Jinx Monsoon.
I know.
He is
Listen.
playing the villain,
Look at all
baby.
of this queer representation in mainstream. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Again, continue to show Middle Earth. You know, that's what I like to call it. Continue to show Middle Earth. Honey, we are here. You watch us on TV. We're your doctors, your lawyers, your grocer, blah, 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 right? Like,
Yes,
I love that. I love, love, love
absolutely.
that. Love
Cool.
that. So I
Cool.
want to jump to one major one that I know that we both are obsessed with before we do our final segment. But
Yeah.
I want to talk about obsession with sports. I feel like for me, I could do a whole, we should, oh, maybe not. We should do a whole show on sports.
We
Like
will.
there are
No. I'm down with that. Brother, I'm
so
down with
many
that.
sports out there. Gays
So
do
down
play
with that.
sports, people, contrary to popular belief, right? I am obsessed with sports. Track and field, college gymnastics, well, just gymnastics in general. Right now, it is what they call the VNL. It's the Volleyball Nations League. It's a
Yeah.
qualifier for the Olympics. So I'm watching all of those matches online right now. That's happening in different countries as we prepare and get ready for the Olympics. I'm watching, obviously, college track and field is happening right now. Tennis, they're gearing up for the French Open in a couple of weeks. So
Yes.
I don't get enough of sports. Absolutely obsessed.
Oh my goodness. I'm a big fan of sports, and there was a time that I was a fanatic, and I had to stop watching football, and I still haven't gone back to American football.
Mm.
I love soccer, but where I am, like, I unbelievably like Lakers is my team for years, even when I lived in New
Yes.
Jersey. Basketball fan, we're talking about Magic, we're talking about Kareem, we're
Legend.
talking about we're talking about Kobe, rest in power. We're
Yes.
talking about this energy of the Lakers brought me into basketball. That was, oh, this is showtime.
Yes.
But what
Yes.
really got me more in tune was the WNBA.
Woo.
And we just kicked
Absolutely.
off the season WNBA. And you know what the funny thing about this is the first time that I'm rooting for all of them.
Yes.
I love my Sparks. Sparks, not doing
That's my team. That's my
hopefully
team.
they might be the Sparks might be, come on. I hope they're gonna have a better year than last year. But
Yes.
I'm looking at Chicago Sky. I'm looking
Yes.
at the
Connecticut
Kinetic
Sun.
Sun.
Yep.
I'm watching
Yep.
and I'm watching these young ones that came out of Camilla. I'm watching all these stars that came out of Angela, came out of this year, the NCAA. And the
Yep.
NCAA was the highest rated watching, oh my God,
Yes.
Iowa, versus
Yes.
South Carolina. And shout out
Yes.
to Don Stanley. I mean,
I
this is like
know.
taking me, and now I'm rooting for everybody. It's
Yeah.
like this is the first time I can sit there and be neutral and going, I want all the women to win. I
That's
want all of
true.
them to win.
That's true. I
I'm
agree.
obsessed
The
with
WNBA is amazing.
WNBA.
I am always old school. I love all the new school players, and I don't follow the WNBA in the last, like, really since COVID. When COVID hit,
Yeah.
I stopped being sort of that avid fan that was watching games constantly. And since then, there's been sort of a new crop of younger players and newer folks and that sort of thing. So I've kind of lost a little bit to a small degree. But honey, I'm old school. Lisa Leslie, Cynthia Cooper. I'm Dawn Staley. I'm the '96 Olympic basketball team. Yes.
Bomb.
So,
and she's the highest paid college basketball coach. She signed the biggest contract. What's really coming up, and we can talk more about this, I think we're going to have a whole segment on the U.S. Open. The U.S. Open tennis is just, are you kidding me? I've never been, but it's on the top of my list of things that must be done. Can we do one more? I think we have time to do one more. I think this is a very, very important one because we both are, we're doing a podcast. So what podcast are you obsessed with right now? Are you listening?
I'm obsessed with ours.
Me too. Because I'm editing them. I'm the editor.
I said what I said.
I said what I said. Yes.
Gritz and Glitter podcast.
Yes.
Watch it, subscribe to it, listen, support it, get your friends, tell your
Do
mama.
your thing. Do your thing.
All of the above.
All of them.
So, I didn't really, prior to us collaborating on this podcast, I didn't listen to podcasts a tremendous amount. I love, like, they're the ones who kind of inspired me to want to get into this space. But Bob the Drag Queen and Monet Exchange, ridiculously funny. Ridiculously funny. Sibling rivalry. Like, I just adore them, their chemistry, their connection, they talk a lot about just their lives and what they go through and dealing in world of drag entertainment. They talk politics, they talk pop culture. They are just phenomenal, and I love them. So they, to me, and I started listening to Vibe Check per yours and a couple people's recommendations, but I cannot get enough of sibling rivalry with Bob the Drag Queen and Monet Exchange.
Okay, so I am a podcast addict.
Right.
I just everything podcasts. I will boom. One of my favorite podcasts, which I really love, is with Michelle Buteau.
Oh, who I adore.
It's called The Adulting, and it's Jordan Carlos, two comedians, and then they have live shows like we're going to start doing. And I just love their chemistry. I love how they come together and they vibe together. And they're two comedians and they're funny as all get out. I'm really big shout out to Michelle Buteau.
Yes, I love her.
Doing the doggone thing. Her show on Netflix, Survival of the Thickest, just got picked up with season 2. So I'm ready for it. I'm in for it.
Is a show everybody should watch.
I'm in for it. There is one other one I want to do a shout out. It's called Let Me Fix It. Let Me Fix It. Let Me Fix It is a podcast, and they get to really have fun with taking something that didn't quite work, and they would teach how they would say how they would fix it. So they had like the Chucky doll. And they had remember my buddy doll. They just did.
I do.
I had my buddy.
My buddy.
They had a my buddy exactly. And so it's really a commentary on things that have gone wrong. They had one about Lauryn Hill and how they were going to fix Lauryn Hill, and it was great advice. They had one about going home on vacation. And why gays don't like to go home on vacation. So let me fix it. Check it out. Felicia, her name is Francesca. Because he's like, people call me Felicia all the time. It's Francesca. Francesca Ramsey and Deion Grant. Y'all got to really check it out. It's really super amazing. Let me fix it. Let me fix it. And we're the first people there. Listen to us first. But podcasting is so incredibly important. So who's making a difference in your life, brother? Who should these people know?
Who is making a difference for me? I'm going to shout out an incredible person here in South Florida who has done business in different states in terms of his brand and his organization. I'm going to call out or bring to the attention of everybody Mark Hunter of Hunter's Nightclubs. It's here in Wilton Manors in South Florida. It's also in Palm Springs, California. Talk about a man with an extremely big heart. Yeah. Mark not only believes in elevating spirits, but uplifting communities, right? Each year they collaborate, host events, they sponsor events, and really truly show philanthropy at its finest. The Hunters Clubs has given out hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years, and they show absolutely no sign of stopping. Mark has a phenomenal team in place with, especially here in South Florida, with Bruce, Diego, Carlo, and they welcome everybody into this space. They build relationships with folks, their patrons in their space. To me, it's not always common that bars and their owners give back to the community that supports them. And I think it's so incredibly important to acknowledge when folks do that. So to me, my who's making a difference is Mark, who is the blueprint for, who makes a difference in community and who also sets the standard in making that difference.
You better come through, Hunters. Hunters. Now, this is real. You just gave me it. Did you know? Because I thought Hunters were separate. They just had the same name.
Nope.
You mean the one in Palm Springs that I've been at several times? That's the
same owner. And he used to have one in Chicago as well. Yep.
They need to sponsor us.
Same person.
I love it. I love it. I love it. It's so interesting because I'm going to go on a national route and even international route. Something that I lost track of, and I started to research them and find out what they're doing. It's the Trevor Project. Remember the Trevor Project? I
do.
And I found out the Trevor Project is really it's on fire again. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's because suicide rates for the youth have gone up.
That's right.
Trans and the youth has gone up. Absolutely. But if you don't know about the Trevor Project, let me just remind you, they're all about crisis prevention, suicide prevention. You can call the Trevor Project if you need just to speak to someone. And anytime that we can save a young life,
absolutely,
we got to shut them out. They give comprehensive support and they do counseling. They also are a hub for research and advocacy. They are also allowing, they're actually using technology and AI in a way our youth can use to support their needs to be, stable and to be flourishing as the LGBTQA community. And, people used to say that our youth is our generation for tomorrow. They're our generation today.
Agreed.
So we got to work on keeping them alive and support. And we're going to put them in our program notes. And we're going to make sure that we support all the people that we are choosing that are making a difference in our community and in our life. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it.
So I learned more about you today.
Likewise, brother. Likewise. Another great episode.
Can't believe you don't like coffee, though. I can't believe you don't like coffee, though.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. Oh my goodness. Hey, y'all, remember to please follow us, because when you follow us, you spread the news and we get out there to other people. Follow us and share and go to social media. And what are they doing on social media? Where is it?
Follow us, like us.
Oh, you just gave it a theme song.
Oh, that is cute.
That was really cute. It was better than mine.
Let me see if I can work on it. Let me see if I can better work than mine.
I think you can. So make sure you follow us on social media. It is Gritz and Glitter, the pod. Our website is on the way. We're doing some great things. We got to stop saying that. Eventually, we're going to say, it's here, and then we're going to have the explosion and
have a
the celebration.
Yes. That's what we got to do.
Absolutely. It's always amazing time to hang with you, brother. Thank you so much for just bringing so much joy in my life. And listeners, we love you. We care for you. And we always say at the end of the podcast, be kind to people.
Yes.
You know,
it takes nothing to be kind. It's free.
Kindness is free. Yes. Until next time, y'all, we love you. Peace and blessings.
All right. See y'all soon.
Remember to like, share, and leave a comment wherever you listen to your podcasts.